happy that you came and joined me today. Today we'll be doing something really fun, really cool. This is the summer of fun. I'm just going to say it's the summer of fun because a lot of you guys just started getting into crafts. You just start getting into candles. So this summer you're going to have fun. You're going to make money. So we're going to do a whole lot of different things on this channel. I want you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now because I got a whole lot of these margarita glasses, and this is something I'm coming back on here later on, so I might even have on the same clothes. I may change my shirt. I don't know. Guys, we're going to do I got like 20 margarita candles that I got to get done because I'm ready to start doing some pop-up shops and things like that. This is my little popcorn container. So guys, looking at these, you should already have a clue about what we're going to do. Do you have a clue about what we're going to do? I think you do. We're going to do a popcorn candle, guys. So what I need you to do is I need you to get your supply list, get your pen and your paper, have everything ready so you can just write it down. And I'm sure you may have a supply list if you're rolling with me by now. Guys, I want you to have some yellow. Yes, guys, get some yellow. You can get these yellow color blocks for candles. This is yellow color blocks. It's kind of like crayons. Don't use crayons because they will clog your wick. But these are sold at Hobby Lobby where you can just go and get them really quick, or you can order them online. You just go ahead and Google it. You'll be able to find it. I suggest you get them from a candle maker store, like a craft candle maker store online. I want you to go ahead and get you some brown blocks. Also, I will be using apple caramel crunch. They do have a buttered popcorn flavor at Flaming Candle. I mean, that's pretty cool. I kind of like the idea, but to me, popcorn smell like it is not a smell that I want going all throughout my house. So this is Wholesale Supplies Plus apple caramel crunch. Guys, like I told you guys before about fragrances, at Wholesale Supplies Plus is pretty expensive, but if you do want to get an alternative to a great caramel smell, I suggest you go to Lone Star, Flaming Candle, and I did give you guys Nature's Garden, and we talked about the different companies, Candle Science, that you can go ahead and get some strong fragrances from. And when I say strong fragrances, I mean all fragrance is not good fragrance. I was teaching that a few weeks ago. Stay off of Esty, because some of these people know how to cut their fragrances. They know how to put the oil in it to where they kind of stretch it, and so you don't want that kind of fragrance. So I want you to have that. I want you to have a straight-sided 16-ounce salsa jar. This is what we'll be using. That's how I started out with that. Here's one right here that's pretty clean. And also, if you have your wicks ready, or if you have your wick guide ready, if you watch any of my last videos, you remember we talked about the wick guide. I want you to go ahead and get yourself a CD18 for this specific jar. Now I will be using 6006 inside this vessel, whatever. If you're using 464, you can toggle between the CD18 and the CD20. More than likely, you'll probably lean towards the CD18. CD18 gives me a very smooth burn, but the only thing is it burns a little hot. So you just gotta probably go ahead and make your adjustments to another wick. Maybe you need to take it over to the Eco series. So take that size, basically maybe 2.5 to 3.5 or whatever that is. Take that over, transfer it over to the Eco series, and use it for your 464. Guys, if you don't know how to wick a candle, you don't know about fragrance and all that kind of stuff, I taught that in a video that was probably a week or two ago. So go back and watch that video and learn all you can learn. Get educated how you get educated, and let's have some fun. So before we get into the video, guys, I'm not going to go too much further without getting my yes, get loose, y'all. We about to make some candles. Yes. All right. So listen, y'all, we are making this popcorn candle. Make sure you go ahead and check out my girl. Listen. Now, we talked about Caroline, and we know she the bomb. We done rated her website. Yeah, she had to put the brownie candle on back order because y'all went and ordered and y'all did y'all thing. And I love it. I love it. I love it. One thing I like about this woman and her silicone molds, and her company is this. You know, it's not too many companies out here that's giving you a break when it comes down to discounts and stuff like that. So when you subscribe, that's a 10% off. And then sometimes on her website, she does a promo code. I know for my candles video that I did with the cherry mold and the brownie, she did a really good discount for you guys. I'm not sure if it's a discount available, but I do know that she do that. And most of these companies that selling stuff is just pretty greedy, and they not trying to give you no kind of discount, but she hooking us up. So we love her for that. We love her for that. So guys, go ahead and click on that link, and that's how you're gonna get your popcorn mold. But I also want to show you guys how to get this thing out of here, because you can't just, you know, of course, pull the popcorn out. It won't be perfect. I want to show you guys how to do it, how to create the overflow, all that. So you got everything ready. I want you guys to have some brown candle dye so we can make the caramel. If you're not doing caramel, you're just doing buttered popcorn, that's cool. But you also going to need to put something on it to keep the popcorn in place inside your jar, so it don't just come out. Like, you don't want it to fall out, you want it to be stuck in place. So you may have to use like a heat gun or something like that, but I suggest you probably just pour some butter on it. You know, that might just be the best option. Me, today, I'm going to be using some brown that I already have. I'm going to melt that down to kind of mix it together to make like a caramel type of color, and I'm going to pour it on top of my popcorn. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the camera close to me where so you can see my beautiful hands and not my beautiful face, and we're going to get right into it. All right. Okay, guys, another thing I wanted to show you was, you do need to print you out some labels. So these are the labels I printed out using Canva. They are so beautiful, guys. I love them. This is going to look so nice. So make sure you print your labels out. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this. And right here I have like a candle Presto pot sitting next to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and scrape this in my Presto pot. But you're going to go ahead, because when you do pour your popcorn, you're going to have to make overflow, because, I mean, that's just my preference, because it won't come out right if you just pouring it. I like it to be like a little overflow. So you take it and you basically just go ahead and just scrape everything that's on top. That's what I do. I just scrape everything on top and cause it to be even. Scrape it off. And I take that same wax and I just pour it into my pouring pot. That's what I do. But you see how it's even, and you don't have to worry about, like, you know, the little lumps and stuff that be in between the popcorn, because sometimes when you pull it out, it got like lines in between it. You know, this is a beautiful mold. It's just nice and thick. As you can see, it's very thick. So what you do is you just go ahead. I'm gonna take this wax right here, because I'm just like one of them thrifty nifty people. Rinse, reuse, and recycle. Amen. I'm gonna go ahead and take this wax and I'm gonna put it in that pot. Okay, so let me go ahead and put my little gloves on. Y'all listen, there's a shortage out here, so I gotta use these little ugly gloves. Y'all just let me just go ahead and do this, and we gonna get this candle done, okay? So you go ahead and you take these popcorns and you just kind of just pop them out. Just pop these little pieces of popcorn out. And this is the way that I discovered that worked best for me. You know, everybody has their own method, so just feel free to kind of play around with this mold. But scraping it off top with a knife, that's really cleaned it up. That is what really cleaned it up for me. So I'm taking my little popcorn and I'm just putting it in here, putting it on the table. Now, mind you, I did fill up this cavity about 3 times to make this come all the way up to the top. So I did fill the popcorn thing about 3 times for this particular vessel. But if you're using something smaller, you may not need to use that much popcorn. But mine is a 16 ounce. But if you use, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I'm getting ready to transfer my stuff over to a 9 ounce. These gloves getting on my nerves, y'all. I can't take them no more. Anyway, just pop the popcorn out. I had to get rid of them gloves because they was gonna drive me nuts. Yes, all right, so we got it all out of there, as you can see, and we just got the popcorn sitting right here. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna prepare my candle color inside my Presto pot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my brown in there, and it's already warm. My stuff is already warm. So I'm just gonna put a little brown inside of there. I'm using some old, that's what you could do. Sometimes you don't have to go and recolor it. You could just go and use old wax to make it the color that you want it to be. And your old wax melts. And that's something that I had used for another candle, my brownie candle. And this is already fragranced and everything in here. So it's just kind of blending in with it. What I like about this particular candle is it's different. You know, it's a different kind of candle. So you take it, you basically, you know, you make your, you know, you let it sit or whatever, it's going to melt. I'm going to let mine just sit and kind of caramelize and turn brown and everything and melt down. I'm going to set it to the side. And what I'm going to do is right now is I'm going to take this candle and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start pushing my popcorn into it. You know, just putting it in here. Just, you know, remember, you could throw the popcorn in here. That's pretty cool, you know, if that's the way you want to do it. But for me, I'm all about detail. Like, I want my popcorn to sit against the wall. I want people to pick up the candle and be like, oh my God, this is beautiful. You know, so I'm all about detail with how I do things. So I'm pushing it up against here. And if you got some imperfect popcorn, just kind of put that in the middle. Like, I just had two that had like pink dye on it from, you know, inside my pot from when I did a candle that had pink. Pop-up shops is coming this summer, guys. You have to have some unique candles. I'm telling you, look, it's so many people out here selling candles now to the point where it's a shortage for almost everybody. So for me, I just think it's best that, you know, you do some different things. Like, you bring something different to the table. Like, you know, try to make some food candles, try to make some straight pour candles, but don't, you know, don't just limit yourself to one type of candle. Like, you know, just do something different, bring something different to the table that everybody else is not doing. And that's why I decided to go with the food candles, because the food candles is pretty much bringing something different to the table. Everybody ain't doing food candles at, you know, the fairs, because most people be like, oh, I don't have time for that, you know. I don't have time for that. They just want to just pour and get up. These do take a little bit more time, so, you know, they cost a little bit more. So I've gotten all my popcorn in here, most of it in here, guys. So what I'm doing now is I'm just filling up the top. Just fill up the top. This is a simple candle to do. I mean, you really can't go wrong with this. I mean, you just pretty much just putting this popcorn in here, and then you just pouring on your stuff and trimming the wick. Somebody got on me recently and they say, you got that YouTube channel and you just going on there and you just telling everybody how to make your candles. You're giving away all the secrets. And you know what I said? You know, we all had to start somewhere. I wish I had somebody to teach me. So I enjoy teaching. You know, I had about 3 people say that to me recently about this. I said, I just really enjoy helping people and teaching. So this is the way it looks when it's finished. I made it so where as though you can still shut the top on it, and don't worry about if you got a little bit of shrinkage around your jar. Shrinkage is okay. If you go to the store, you will see that people have shrinkage every day. So the next thing I want you to do is, before we go and put our caramel and everything on here, first of all, we want to test the caramel. That's what I want you guys to get in the habit of. We want to test the caramel just to see if it looks like caramel. We want to make sure before we start pouring that we can look at it and it's pretty much yellow right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more brown to it. I'm going to add a little bit more brown to it so that it can look like what it's supposed to look like. I don't want it to be yellow. I want it to be like actual caramel. Caramel. I call it caramel. So I'm just adding a little bit more to it or whatever. Probably just gonna chop this off. Just chopping a little piece off. I'm gonna add that to my pot, and I'm gonna let that melt down. But what I want you to do is I want you to grab some Windex, and I want you to spray it on a rag. And right now is a good time to go ahead and just melt this down. I mean, not melt it down, wipe this down. Talk about melt this down. Wipe this down, clean it up, make it look good. Because this is the point where we getting ready to pour the caramel in, and we about to add our label to have a finished product. Now, these don't take that long to make, because the only thing you're doing is pretty much you pouring your wax, you unmold and putting the popcorn in there, and that's it. So these are not really a long process like whipping and all that kind of stuff. So there you go, we got it sitting right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull out my labels. I showed you guys my labels. I'm gonna pull my labels off. Now I've decided to go with clear labels on this one because sometimes when you're using certain colors inside of a jar, a clear label brings it out. I mean, it really gives it that extra shine. So I'm gonna put my label on this way. And you want to make sure that it's straight when you add it on there. Right now, let me see how mine look. Pull it off and make sure it's straight. Because once you seal it on there, you don't want to keep taking that label off. It looks wrinkled and ugly, and that's not professional. So if you see any wrinkles, smooth it out. Professionalism is how you gonna sell your candles. And I'm sitting here pulling it off like I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like, no wrinkles. All right, so there it is. This is how it looks when it's finished with the clear label. Now, if you want to use white, you can, but this is pretty much good for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna test my caramel one more time just to see what we're looking like. So you pour it on a piece of paper, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, it's a little bit darker, but not as dark as I would want it to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more brown just to melt it down just a little bit. And as I do that, I'm just gonna pretty much get my candle ready. I'm gonna get my little cup and everything so we can go ahead and pour it. All right. Okay, all right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle a little bit of my caramel on it, and I'm not gonna fill it completely up with the caramel color, but I'm gonna drizzle a little bit on it just to give it that little extra, you know. And it causes it to stick together too. So that's another good thing about it. The way I kind of color this is kind of like looking like butter, caramel, whatever. So I ain't really had my candle dye with me today like I usually have, but it still look good. It's still pretty. I just didn't want to make it yellow because I already have yellow on the bottom. So sometimes you have to throw the color off a little bit, and it looks cool. It's actually good. As it dries, coming out look a little different, but it still look cute to me. Yeah, this is how it come out looking. So on the top, it has the drizzle on it. It causes it to bind together, and I like it. Okay, so guys, right now this is the perfect opportunity to go ahead and trim your wick. As you can see, I put a little more drizzle on the inside of it, and it just causes it just to bind together more and to kind of look more realistic. So I like it. It's cute. I really like this candle. So what you do right now is you take your wick trimmer, and when you trim it, guys, I want you to trim it to like right here. Trim it. Don't trim too much off of it off, but you know, trim it to where though it's not hanging outside, to where though when you put the top on there, it will fit, and it will fit right. So here's my good lovely popcorn candle. Take a look at it. It is caramel popcorn, and it looks really beautiful. I really love doing my candles on this channel and sharing these experiences with you guys. I want you to go ahead, like, and hit the subscribe button so you will not miss the wonderful things that we will be doing on this channel. Guys, we will be doing some key lime pies. I did the key lime embeds. I did some strawberry embeds for the candles that we will be doing this week, and that's like out of the drink glasses. You don't want to miss that. So hit the subscribe button, and I will see you back here pretty soon. Pretty soon. Pretty soon. Pretty soon. See you later, guys. All right.